everyone. As part of this special Woodstock Festival week, which we are doing here at Virgin Rocks, celebrating the Woodstock Festival of 1969, today I am listening to Melanie. That's an artist I've never heard before, but, well, let's see what I have to read. All right, the song is Lay Down, Candles in the Rain. Melanie Ann Safka was an American singer-songwriter. She wrote Lay Down, Candles in the Rain after performing at Woodstock in August of 1969. The song describes what she felt as she looked out at the sea of people in the audience. The song's lyrics include the lines, "We all sang the songs of peace. Some came to sing, some came to pray, some came to keep the dark away." Ah, okay. So this is not something that was performed or happened during Woodstock, but it was inspired by and came from her memories of having performed there. Okay. I like this. At the ones who stand and frown, let your white birds smile up at the ones who stand and frown. To me, it's in my imagination. It captures so much of what I think of how the music culture was back then, with all this enthusiasm and hope for peace and the incredible explosion of musical creativity that was happening, and that, along with perhaps I don't know if I would say the older generation, although of course much of it was the older generation, but then of course the other side of society who felt like it was too loose, too free, too not appropriate enough, the ones who stand and frown. There's a sort of interesting.
There was no room. We bled inside each other's wounds.
Interesting.
We all had caught the same disease, and we all sang the songs of peace.
Okay. So, a couple things. I notice musically a kind of anthem style, chant style, perhaps chorus style feel to this. In other words, lay down, lay down, lay it all down, let your white birds smile up at the ones who stand and frown. You hear that twice in a row, and it's very much a dynamic, vibrant sort of invitation to jump in and start singing along. There's this very much a group vibe to it, if I could put it that way. And then when it changes, dynamic and texture and pacing and tone and everything, we were so close, there was no room. I notice again that passage also is very, very much chorus-like. In other words, the melody is so easy to remember, and it's so repetitive. It happens over and over. It's almost religious in its mood, in its setting. And in fact, the lyrics also have a kind of religious overtone to it. We bled inside each other's wounds. What an incredible line, really. Think about it. Just the expression, the poetic expression, but it does conjure a sort of religious experience. We all had caught the same disease, and we all sang the songs of peace. Again, sort of religious overtones there. And I understand it was a kind of spiritual, maybe I should say spiritual instead of religious. Yeah. But because it was a spiritual experience for so many there, it was this incredible experience. But the reason I'm dwelling on this is because very often with music, we'll have a chorus, a refrain, something that is easy to sing along to and catches you. And then the verse will be less catchy or less easy to follow, or vice versa. But here, it's basically chorus type and then chorus type again. Why? Well, it makes perfect sense to me because this was such a mass experience. And in fact, the song described what she felt as she looked out at the sea of people in the audience. She was a performer there, but she also had this sort of experience of such a vast sea of people. And everybody's there and everybody's involved. And this song not only reflects that and commemorates that, but it also invites that. It invites that because every part of it, well, okay, I haven't been through the whole song, but both of these parts, I might call it even a double chorus song. Both of them invite participation for a vast sea of people.
We bled inside each other's wounds. We all had caught the same disease, and we all sang the songs of peace.
Even this, okay, before I forget, one more thing. The way I hear the voice on this song, the harmonizing, okay, it's fine, but that's not the point. The point is there is a voice leading and there is another voice or voices following. You hear they're not perfectly in sync. That's not by accident. That's not sloppiness. That's not a case of, okay, she couldn't get things, she couldn't synchronize the singing better than that. No, it's part of the whole vibe. The idea that you have a performer, you have somebody leading the music, and then everybody else is shadowing along. Even if they've never heard it before, they are just here. Listen to it.
We all had caught the same disease, and we all sang
You see?
the songs of peace.
And here we go. Smile up. And you hear the solo voice here, being more free. Very gospel-y style, right? Nice little bit of word painting there. Okay. There's a sort of raw energy, a sort of intense vibrancy and in her voice, even her voice and the whole dynamic of the song. Whether it's this vibrant chorus, lay down, lay it all down, or the prayer section, right? Which I suspect is, that's what's coming next if I look at the lyrics again. So we're moving into the meditative part of it. But either way, there's this sort of intense intensity to her voice, intensity to her musical expression, which is kind of raw, kind of, you might say, unsophisticated, unpolished, at the same time, incredibly magnetic, charismatic. There's something about it that just grabs you and pulls you in. It's like she's grabbing you by the sleeve and saying, come on. We're going. You're coming with us.
Lay it all down, let your white bird smile up at the ones who stand and frown. We were so close, there was
You can imagine the candles waving quietly here, right?
each other's wounds.
It's this whole
Caught the same disease.
nice, the way we have those upper harmonies.
Songs of peace. Some came to sing, some came to pray.
This is
Some
interesting.
came to keep the dark away.
Okay, I hate to stop it here, but I have to comment before I forget. This is the same chorus that we had earlier, but now it's extended. That's an interesting way of handling this kind of double chorus composition. We have this lively lay down, and we also have we were so close there was no room. And instead of developing kind of a verse, verses to intersperse, instead we develop the chorus and we extend it to say more. So now, instead of stopping at and we all sang the songs of peace, we do that. But then we continue. Some came to sing, some came to pray, some came to keep the dark away. And of course, this fits. If we're going to treat it literally, technically, it fits very well with the whole candles, holding your candles, raising your candles high, and the music evoking this sort of spiritual experience, prayer-like experience, holding your candles and swaying to the music. Yes, true. It does all of that. But it also, the way she writes these words takes it so far beyond the literal, doesn't it? Back again to these lines. We were so close, there was no room. We bled inside each other's wounds. We all had caught the same disease, and we all sang the songs of peace. There is this deep, embedded hope and call for everyone to join hands, and everybody is not just celebrating that moment of, oh wow, we're all looking for the same thing. We're all searching for the same thing. We all are here together. Why? To share our wounds, to sing the songs of peace, to pray, to keep the dark away, to make this world a better place. This is what we hope for. This is what we dream for. This is what we are here for. And because this was written after Woodstock, it's also saying, This is how we continue. This was just the start, and what an incredible experience it was. But now carry this with you. In other words, raise the candles high. Because if you do, we could stay dry against the rain. Raise them higher again. If you do, we could stay dry against the rain. If we do this, and we see that we can, and we were, and we did, if we do this, just think of the wonderful possibilities. Think of what will happen in this world. And I have to pause right here and mention again my new channel, North, where the whole concept is that, not just that we can do, but there are people out there who are doing. And if we stay connected, if we all raise our own little candles high, if we all remember and keep ourselves aware and grounded in the fact that we are not alone. There is a vast sea of people out there in this world doing just the same. That is what sends this world in the right direction. That is what keeps us human. That is what moves us forward. That is what gives us reason to hope. Because there is a black night and there is rain. And yet, the possibilities. This song captures so much of that, and I appreciate and I like the incredible simplicity and innocence and enthusiasm of it. The feeling of, let's just get everybody here. We just had everybody here. Let's all carry this on. This was such an eye-opening, worldview changing at least, experience. And we don't want to lose it. We don't want to forget it. Keep the dark away. So raise the candles high. If you know we could stay black against the sky. Raise them higher again. And if you do, we could stay dry against the lone voice calling out, calling out, calling out. Do it, do it, do it. Let your white bird smile up at the ones who stand around. You gotta lay down, lay it all down. Let your white bird smile up at the ones who stand around. You gotta lay down, lay it all down. Let your white bird smile up at the ones who stand around. You gotta lay down, lay it all down. Let your white bird smile up at the ones who stand around. Yes, I love the enthusiasm. I love the simplicity, even the overtones of, we might say, naivety, especially looking back and standing where we are and looking forward. But what a wonderfully positive, hopeful, and encouraging song, isn't it? Yes, there will be those who frown. Let them stand and frown. Raise your candles high. It's picturesque, it's evocative, it puts a smile on my face. And I like that. And so this is my first time hearing this artist. I don't know how this particular song compares to the rest of her output. Hopefully I will find out more as I have time down the road to explore more. But I like this as the first introduction to her work. And it's especially nice in the context of this Woodstock week, where we're looking at and exploring that festival, that event from so many different angles. And this is one in which we are looking back at it after the fact. And here we are down the road many years later, looking back at it. And so it's a great reminder to say, yes, look back and let it light your candle. This has been a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to what comes next. I'll see you soon.